Hello everybody and welcome to another design video here with me and Beard working on some custom investigators for our second expansion. Wow! We haven't finalized our first expansion yet, but we are working hard on getting that done. So just still moving ahead a little bit to the second one. But we'll announce something when we actually finish the first expansion, so worry not, that won't be an issue. This is our third investigator that we've been working on for this one. We have our survivor and our guardian already finished. Today we're going to be working on our rogue, the dancer character. Beard, as I always do, I'm going to throw it to you to kind of talk about these modus cards here, which are a running theme that we're using as inspiration for these designs.
It's a good thing you brought up the modus cards. So I think we need to add the forced room.
Yes.
Put it back in your bonded card pile.
I'll go grab that.
I think that exact phrase is on another card already. So you can probably...
Is it the Dream Diary one? Essence of the Dream?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So what are modus cards?
The modus cards are essentially class-specific bonded cards. Rather than the Dream Eater style where specific cards have specific other bonded cards, we instead decided that there would just be one bonded card that a number of other cards in that class can make use of. So for the rogue one, for example, it attaches to an enemy or treachery, and you can discard it to get an unexpected courage, basically, against that card. And there will be other ways that we're going to expand on that, like other bonuses while it's attached, or other bonuses after it's used, etc., etc.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty fun. All right. Cool. Let me just copy and paste that line and get these on all of those. My favorite thing about Arkham is that instead of like making it like short and sweet, everything is just so verbose for this stuff. All right, there we go. Perfect. So we have all those. So yeah.
Check out the secret one again because...
oh yeah, we want to shuffle those into our deck?
Yeah, that might be a little tricky.
Yeah, when enter your discard pile. I guess that one could just be when it enters your discard pile.
Honestly, in spite of what they wrote, we can probably do like when this would leave play instead.
Yeah. When this would leave play. Just do that for all of these. To play, and then as part of your bonded cards.
Should probably be on a separate line though, like because it's a forced effect.
Sure. Might make it look cleaner that way too.
Yeah. Because that makes it so like if something discards it from your hand, then you're like, well, I didn't discard it with the lightning bolt ability, so does it get set aside? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, just make that forced. So.
Would when this would leave play instead of decide. So are we doing that only for reasoned?
No, I think we can do that for all the cards now.
Okay.
Just that forced thing, because if you shuffle this into your deck from your bonded cards, it's not leaving play. It's still in play.
And then if you draw it and then you discard it, it doesn't leave play either, right? So you could still shuffle back into your deck with reasoned. Reasoned's the strange one. Everything else is pretty straightforward for this, but reasoned is the different one. Because if you discard it from your hand, it'll just go into your discard pile to shuffle back into your deck, right?
I believe as currently written, yeah. We could also say when this would leave play or enter your discard pile.
Yeah.
Just to make all the cards say, like, if it's not in your deck, in your hand, or in play, then it goes back into bonded.
So when this would leave play or enter your discard pile, instead set reasoned aside. Yeah. Yeah, because reason's the only one that also actually never goes into play. It's the strange one.
Yeah. And thankfully, it doesn't make the card too busy.
Yeah. No, the line break actually makes it a little bit cleaner, which is nice. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Back to the dancer.
So I think the ability that we discussed briefly last night was basically like, after you evade an enemy by 2 or more, engage that enemy. If it does not elite, it is not ready during the next upkeep phase. And limit once per round.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, like, that just seems perfect, right?
Yeah, there's a few cards that freeze, but I was kind of interesting to think that there are no investigators that can inherently freeze enemies.
Yeah. What's her off class for this one? It's Survivor Seeker.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of neat. She can play, she can bring Alton O'Connell before she levels up into a rogue foot ally.
She can. Or we can make a rogue foot ally.
Yeah, we can. I think that's what's going to be interesting about her is she's going to be, like, enemy management with the foot, so we're probably going to want to include cards for her that help her do things with her foot. So we, like, especially on the combat side, I think it'd be really cool for the rogue class to get. Especially because our current rogue stuff it was very limited because it was for the all threes. So I think it's going to be cool to kind of have something that I think is a bit more roguey, you know? I love this. Like I said, I think this is just it. I think this is just what her ability is. I can't see making this better.
All right, we'll run with it.
Yeah. Stat line, I feel like we should really push her and give her, like, 1 combat.
Well, I was actually thinking of something like 2-3-2-5.
2-3-2-5. The only reason why I like that, the only reason I was feeling like a 1 in combat is because it'd be nice if she could use one of the cards from the events from the last cycle.
Oh yeah, like the crash through one.
So I think one of the numbers should add up to 6, either book and foot or foot and fist. One of them should add up to 6.
Well, because she has Seeker subclass, I think she should have higher book than fist.
Yeah. So what if we did
2-4-1-5?
Yeah, either that or 3-3-1-5.
I think 2-4-1-5 is Lucius's stat line.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, honestly, because the one card she would be able to get is crash through, and that seems kind of against flavor for her.
Yeah.
Maybe we just worry about those stat combinations on the next few.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels bad to me to have it not work with either of them for the next box. If we're trying to design this as if they actually would design for official stuff, that'd be one of those things that if we release this box officially, they'd be like, oh, it's crazy that she can't play these cards that were included in the last box, you know? It just it feels like to me it's a little bit strange.
True, but I guess you get that every time they swap from like a heavy Seeker type rogue to a heavy fighter type rogue.
Yeah.
because like a lot of the stuff that Tony Morgan was using, Trish doesn't really care about.
Yeah. Okay, I don't like it, but we can change it. I don't like it, though. I think it's a mistake, but we can go like this,
we can put it down
I
to
guess.
4 foot instead.
Yeah, I feel like that eats her ability quite a bit. Like, I mean, I guess that makes you more inclined to use the marked, right? Two, 3, 2, 5. Yeah, we could run with this. This seems like it's a good stat line. It's heavy on the foot. The book is serviceable. So
She's yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any really good way to satisfy those snoop around and crash through cards, but
yeah, because like she's not even gonna use like the brooch, or sorry, the loop or the hammer either.
yeah, because she'd be investigating at 2s.
Yeah, maybe we made a mistake in retrospect of having that be like the first box that we have for this. I don't know, it just feels like there's a little bit of break from it, but that's okay.
If only we'd known back then that we were making 6 sets.
Yeah. All right. Her Elder Sign ability. Oops.
Rogues tend to get a pretty high Elder Sign effect, like +2, especially when she has some lower stats.
I mean, I feel like she's gonna mostly just be using her her foot for stuff anyway in practice. So yeah, but they do have like, yeah, looking at them, Finn has +1. Kimani gets I mean, I think Alessandra Zorzi is a good place to look. They're very similar. She gets a +2. Safina gets a +3. Holy hell.
Safina's just a little nuts.
Yeah.
But that's nothing. Do you want to know how high Jenny's Elder Sign
Yeah, she can go to the moon. All right. What's an interesting effect for this to have? Because I think it's like my hope that most of these investigators, you enjoy drawing their Elder Sign. It's not just like, oh, whoopee, I passed the test, you know, because you're doing that most of the time anyway.
What about something like you may move a non-elite enemy to your location or from your location? So either she can immedially have something to work with,
Yeah.
or if she already has dealt with them, she's like, all right, you go away now.
Yep. I think that's interesting. Your location, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
Definitely helps the enemy management because we're giving her the Pete guitar without needing it.
Yes. Yep. 100%. All right. I mean, that's pretty simple. That's it's the easiest one we've had so far. You love to see it. Now we got to make our signatures though. Beats guitar without the strings. Amen. Hey, what's up, Roscoe? Let's get your
no strings
deck
attached.
stuff.
You put
Alright.
a 4 in his traits.
That's not supposed to be there. I thought he wasn't a 4 for his traits.
I mean, he has 4s and 2 stats. That doesn't make him a 4.
I thought that's how it worked. So deck creation, choose Seeker or Survivor. That's her stuff, right? Yeah, she's Secret Survivor. Cool. Okay, Roscoe. Deck building options. We get these. Rogue cards. And then signature. Weakness. Perfect. What would be an interesting signature? And also what would be a weakness? Oh yeah, what's her we never finalized an ancient one for her.
I don't think we really finalized an ancient one for Roscoe either.
I think Roscoe, yeah, we had Sestugwa or Quatchley, and I think it's going to be, I'll choose one during, we'll choose one when we make the backstory, because his doesn't appear on the cards.
Sure. Because we didn't have any immediate ideas for her, because we could use one of the unused ones if the other was for her.
Yep. And we had like a bunch for the, I love for her mid stats to be swapped, honestly. She's a seeker though, so that's why we're leaning towards the 3. But she's also a survivor, so like that's why you could lean towards the 2. But I think a big goal with this character is for her to be enemy management, like with her foot. So I think that's going to be important for that kind of thing. At least in my mind. At least in theory.
We wanted her kind of like towing the line between Kamani and Alessandra. Where it is enemy management, but you still get some benefits from keeping enemies around.
Yeah. All right, here's a suggestion for a very strange ancient one. It has a lot of legs, and it's not a spider, but dancers have legs. What about Ihort? This guy right here.
What's his deal?
Ihort is the pale beast, the god of the labyrinth, appears as a huge pallid gelatin. All right, let's see if we can get to the actual like ancient one wikis. There's got to be one. Yeah, here we go. He like infects people he makes deals with. Like he plants little like brood inside of them.
You know, like a brain parasite kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe it happened to like somebody somebody from her family or something.
Stu, that's actually Quaddle or whatever it is. That was one of the ones you were considering for Roscoe.
I mean, that's a good one too. That one could work for the Quatchley Utaus.
That's the one.
Yeah, that one could potentially also work for her, because like his whole thing is he follows you like down, right? She's always on the move. She's not a drifter though, so I don't know if that'll work for her. And like, I'm sorry, I mean not that Quatchley won't, but like her trying to flee from her. Chosen is interesting.
Yeah, we kind of put that on her before we really knew what we wanted out of her.
But that can help us determine backstory here. Maybe she was chosen by an ancient one and she tried to and she turned it down. That's a little bit different than some of the other chosens we have that
Sort of rejecting their fate.
yeah. Very roguey too, right? I'm my own fate maker.
That does fit the brand.
In that case, we can't do Ihort because if you turn down his deal, he kills you. So,
Well, that's pretty on the nose then.
yeah.
Yeah,
Every time I see Gareth Naka, I'm like, I know that guy from somewhere. Where is he from?
Probably the first and only use of him in the LCG. She could also be connected to something from like the Hyperborean pantheon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a good chosen link there, because they have a whole lot to do with fate and destiny.
Yeah, I'm down for that. That sounds cool to me.
Not that I know the pantheon very well. I think Sithog was part of it, but...
Hyperborea. Okay, here we go. Alright. These are some fucked up names if I've ever seen one.
Welcome to Lovecraft. Well, not just Lovecraft. That was probably Howard.
Alright, so Tsthugwa is one of them. Interesting. It communicates a deep rumbling sound, but he knew neither was reverberating in the dusky air or his own mind. Interesting. Nug and Yeb, everybody's favorite ancient ones.
Without question.
Yeah. I think we do Quatchley for Roscoe, and I think we give her Tsthugwa.
It works for me.
Cool. All right. So I think that Purple Manfly has an interesting idea, where a weakness that compels her to exhaust an enemy, but I also feel like she should have an enemy weakness, because it's either something that makes enemies worse, or is an enemy that she has to deal with, right?
Yeah, some like her ability is about like making sure they don't ready during the upkeep phase. Just have him not ready during upkeep. Have him ready during a different point.
Yeah, he readies at like the start of the enemy phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that seems neat. And we can apply this guy's a cultist of the Tsthugwa thing, because that's an easy thing to do.
Or it could be some monstrous minion as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we have a cultist for Laurent.
Tsthugwa. Do we have any sort of... You know what? I'm actually going to step away for 1 second. I have a book of ancient ones, and I'm going to see if they maybe have a minion, like what his minions are in that one.
Sure. There's
Okay. Now it would be horrible if he wasn't even in this book.
I'm sending you my name suggestion. 3 possible last names, so I'd be happy with any of them.
Oh, there he is, 62. Alright, let's see these names. Oh, okay. Vivian Crawford. Vivian Chan. I think Crawford. I like it. I like it. All right. Formless Spawn. That's who serve him.
Okay. And I mean, that checks out. Because I think there's Formless Spawn all over, like, Dream Quest of... Or not Dream, the Seven Geases, which introduces a whole bunch of those, like, Atlanachia.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, so Formless Spawn.
And that would make sense for a Formless Spawn to be radiating up at a weird time.
Yes, yeah. It's not like everything else. All right, so this guy's going to have Hunter.
Stu, you're a little early on the Dune Worms. We'll get to them.
Yeah. They'll be coming up. They'll be coming up. All right, Formless Spawn, Hunter.
It's not a basic weakness.
Investigator weakness. There we go. Hunter, game text.
Maybe also something like player cards cannot be attached to Formless Spawn.
Mm-hmm. Is the ready a forced, or is that just like a passive sort of thing?
Could be a forced thing, like forced when the enemy phase begins, ready Formless Spawn.
Perfect. We're going to put that underneath it then. Phase. Nice.
If I throw 3 health on that guy.
Yep. Do we want to give him either alert or retaliate? I feel like we should give him retaliate.
Yeah, because you want to be taking him out, so...
Yep.
He can be like a 3-3-2 or something like that.
Yeah, he entices you to try to evade him.
Yeah, you can evade him. You're just going to have to really put some distance if you want to evade him.
Yeah. And that seems pretty fine. Monster?
Monster Abomination.
Yeah. Is Monster something like Humanoid that's first?
I think Monster is first. Let me check how the Dunwich things are laid out.
Sure.
Yeah, Conglomeration of Spheres has Monster Abomination.
Perfect. So it's like there's like a super type for all these things.
Yeah, like either human or monster usually has like the one or the other for them.
Yep. All right. What should this thing hit for? Oh yes, we should also figure out her stat law, her health, and that'll probably help determine this.
She seems like she'd be like a 6/8, something like that. I mean, if we wanted to make her on the squishier side of things, we could do 5/9, but if we want her to be managing enemies, that may be a bad call.
Yeah, I think 6/8 seems all right.
Because that's like the main reason why nobody really uses Sister Mary for fighting, because she's only got 5 health.
Yeah. I think this thing should exploit her weakness on the physical side.
Yeah, 2 damage for sure.
Yeah. It's a scary enemy, but it dies to a backstab.
You just gotta be saving it for it.
Yeah.
Let me find some appropriate art.
All right. Let's mull over this signature. Maybe we should also go with a more interesting name than Formless Spawn, just in case they ever do Formless Spawn as an actual thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Maybe something like Undulating Spawn.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. I'll tell you what card she's gonna love. Patsy.
See, Patsy may not be the best for
Yeah. It was a seed. It was a seed we planted for the future. Yeah, Maxwell hates it, but Vivian loves it.
See, we don't need to have a complete overlap. We got cards for her.
Yeah.
This is kind of Colorado space coded, but you can probably use the bottom half of this image for it.
It is missing. That is good call. It is missing enemy there. Perfect. Alright, this spawn is undulating. Oh, made it way too small.
And just shift that up. There we go. That's some nice formless goodness.
Yeah.
Just like Mom used to make.
We have a line for flavor text. What if we like paint the backstory a bit, where it's like penance for like turning down a deal or something like that?
Or if it's
like that kind of flavor, where it's like this is chasing her because she turned down the deal, rejected her fate. What are our specialist cards for Chosen? I always like. Classic True Awakening. The Cowl of Sekhmet. She's not probably going to be frickin' with that, but... And then she also has Performer. Interesting. Alright, Vivian, what do you want to do with your signature? And what can we make interesting that's not just, like, better at evading an enemy?
we could give her an event signature, or you know, unlike Alessandra, where she just like attaches something to an enemy and makes them like her minion. Mm-hmm. Maybe you want something where you like attach something to an enemy, and the longer it stays in play, the more benefit you get out of that card.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Because that's where my headspace was when I was like, she's gonna be good with Patsy. I was like, she wants to have something that like she can pay off enemies for, right? So I think an event's an interesting thing to do.
Maybe something like this for the enemy quote.
Yeah, I like it.
The value with her ability is that the enemy isn't going to ready for 2 rounds, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, freezing is very powerful. It's enemy management. It takes a lot of stress off. Here's an interesting idea. Instead of the event, what if she had some sort of engage synergy with that?
No, it's just like after you engage an enemy, do something if the enemy is exhausted.
Make it better?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because we do want her to be enemy management. That's a good line of thinking.
Yeah. Okay, let's put that down here. Let me delete this dancer signature. Oopsie. Right-clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Almost deleted something else. An asset. Oopsie, wrong class. Neutral. There we go. Smooth move. Alright, so Vivian Crawford deck only. Reaction. I was thinking footwear too, but I feel like if we make her footwear, it kind of cuts out what people would want to do, which is give her track shoes, because she's a pretty good user of track shoes.
Or hiking boots.
Or hiking boots. Yeah, she has. Well, she can't play hiking boots because that's experienced.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, the only level 0 footwear.
After you engage an enemy. Would it be crazy if this was like I was gonna say a reverse pickpocketing, but I think that after you engage an enemy, gain 1 resource just eats Zoe's pie too much. So we want to do something more interesting.
Let's see here.
Oh, astute. That's a really neat idea. Can we steal that for just a player card in this cycle, though? Because that seems like something rogues would love.
Yeah, kind of like a dirty fighting.
But for events. Astute, I'm going to steal that from you. I'm not even going to wait. I'm actually going to make a rogue card right now. That's a fantastic idea. Rogue. Event Dirty Fighting. That's our working title. Well, we'll worry about all the balance and proper wording later. I just need to save that because that's a fantastic idea for a card. You can steal from me if you wish me a happy birthday. Is it actually your birthday, Astute? Happy birthday. If it's not your birthday, I'm still saying happy birthday. What's interesting about when you engage an enemy?
Well, after she is engaged or has evaded an enemy, what does she want to do for the rest of her turn, basically?
Yeah. Okay, I feel like this needs to have like 2 triggers, right? And they both should exhaust.
She can also lean into the seeker side of things too.
Yeah. I feel like it just never hurts to give options and variety. You're finally 30? Well, happy birthday and welcome to the Big 3-0 Club! I'd like to lie to you and say my 30s are better than my 20s. And they are for the most part, but, you know, college was fun. I went to film school, so it was, like, plain.
College was fun, but I didn't start making homebrew till I was 30, more or less.
Yeah, it's the world is young. 30 is just the beginning, is what 30-year-olds tell themselves.
So honestly, other than like a second ability for this one, maybe it's something as simple as just like you get +2 book for each enemy engaged with you. Or +1 book for each enemy engaged with you, +2 instead if that enemy is exhausted.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking was, like, for the exhausted one, it's, like, you can ping it for a damage. So she could, like, slowly kill things as well.
True.
After you engage an enemy, exhaust, smooth move. Okay, what do rogues do? Because I like the book thing, right? Like I like that.
Well, a lot of rogue gear is about making number big rather than increasing efficiency.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I like the +2 book, because it's kind of like the same thing, right?
Yeah, and helps her 3 book feel better without necessarily needing an ally that's book focused.
Yeah, so like let's just like paint this picture. She gates an enemy. She draws an enemy during the upkeep phase. All right, let's just go like this. After engage an enemy. She then uses her ability, and she evades an enemy. She gets +2 book that way, putting her a 5. So she's like a traditional kind of roguey vibe, without like having the number just printed on her. Right? She has to work for it a little bit. But we lose the exhaust on that one because we wanted to do twice.
Yeah.
And maybe she's just really damn good in Dream Eaters. She gets some spiders, and she's like, "All right, +3 book, baby." I evade them. I get +6 in total.
I mean, Sithag was kind of dream coded.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a good benefit, and then the exhaust can be
enemy.
Honestly, she could probably do something like shuffle an enemy back into the encounter deck.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of effects that do that nobody uses, but is there a way to make it more appealing?
Mm-hmm. After you engage an enemy, you get +1 book until the end of the round. If that enemy was exhausted... Oh, interesting idea. Interesting idea. What if she's, like, constantly moving? If that enemy was if...
Oh, adding some movement into it?
No, I'm thinking a little bit. Let me just put this here. We have to add like a non-elite clause to this. You may shuffle that enemy and into your deck. So it's like kind of one of those things like, and then maybe this becomes fast or something, and it's like she's a little bit more like impulsive, right? She's like, oh, I do this, I can get rid of this, I can play this, I can do this, all that kind of thing.
I can see that kind of like using this as
And well, this it's not going to your deck. That enemy into the encounter deck. Sorry, I interrupted you. Yeah.
That's fine. Because I can see that being useful. Like, we do not want this guy on the board right now. Let's get rid of him. And yeah.
And she still gets the +1 from it, so she can still like just like solve a big enemy that way. Okay.
That's after you engage too, so it's just like during the enemy phase, the it should be a non-weakness enemy. So,
yeah, it should be like non-weakness, non-elite for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, she like mindless dancer moves in. She's like, "See ya."
Yeah. Go back in there. I mean, I actually think like we should maybe that like non-weakness. We should just like put it on this part of it.
Yeah.
It feels a bit bad, but I think it's going to be worded better like that.
But then she doesn't get the trigger for the book boost from if weakness or elite enemies engage her.
I think that's fine, because I think they require like a different sort of thing. Because I think even her ability, like it doesn't care about non-elites, so I think that she should just have like an elite weakness, kind of like Keimani, right? She should just be like worse against them. I see what you're saying, Dice Gods, but I think it's also kind of a bad assumption to assume that I'm not gonna like solve that enemy or be able to make use of that enemy in those 1 to 2 turns, right? Like freezing them is nice, it gives you time, and you can still just like solve them in other ways, right? Or alternatively, you just go with the Lucius Galloway thing, and you're just the Kluver. You're by yourself, and you just like you bring enemies to your goons and be like, "Here, kill this motherfucker."
You can also just have like a round and a half of it being exhausted for you to do parley stuff with it.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's like a gangbusters ability, but I think it's a pretty fair ability, and freezing is very powerful.
I mean, if you use her ability once in a game, then you will use it more than I have used Lucius's ability in the one scenario I've played him as. Just like evade an enemy by 2 or more to get a clue. That comes up surprisingly little.
Yeah. Probably 1 cost. Yeah, no, I think what you're saying is all very fair and reasonable and a good like assessment of this design. But I feel like it's a simple. It's a very open effect too, which I think is very good. I think there's a lot of ways that you can take care of these enemies, and like get advantage from Vivian's ability. I think the smooth move is pretty interesting though. We need a better name though. That's just what I.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find a decent picture that might inspire something.
And this is probably going to be like a talent. It should be. It's related to dancing, right? So.
Yeah.
So what I like about this one for people at home is that it's a very powerful effect, but it requires an action to get the bottom perk of it, to get like because like enemies rarely engage you exhausted. I'll tell you what, she's gonna fucking love Dream Eaters. But it is a flavor win, like you said, because, you know, this guy over here. Icons, I think we just go... So I know people would say agility, but I think this actually should be, like, an option to use for... like, used offensively. Because I feel like at a certain point you're going to stop playing it. So my gut either says, like, willpower, agility wild, or willpower, combat wild. That's what my gut's saying for this.
Yeah, I guess it could just be the defensive stats.
Yep. But I feel like she doesn't, like, I feel like, yeah, the agility boost, I mean, it's good in theory, right? Because she gets, it helps her get over the 2 that she needs to for that. That's, like, seems like the good design principles. Yeah. Save anyway. I'll tell you what she's going to love with this card, chat. Lucky Cigarette Case 3.
Don't most rogues.
Yeah.
Can you show me Vivian's picture again? Okay.
Alright, chat. Should we identify a creature from the Dreamlands together while Beard's looking for art? Does it fly or float in the air? Yes or no? Yeah, it does. Does it have wings? No. Go to question 7. Are its limbs definite, though possibly newly formed from body mass? Yeah, I think so. Let's go to question 8. Does it glow? Oh, no question. Go to question 9. Is it cat-like? No, and it floats in the air. Go to question 10. Is the floater newt-like? Or an energy bean? I think it's an energy bean, so that's going to be a minion of Caracal on 112. Let's see what this thing is. Wow, chat, look what we discovered.
A thing.
It's a thing. There's some strange-ass stuff. Oh, cats from Saturn. Those are Astute's favorites. We should read those on his birthday. Look, Astute. It's your favorite. The cat from Saturn. That's messed up. Let's check in. There's no Shut-a-Mel in that book.
Shame.
I feel like we want to call this like Dancer's Instinct, something like that.
Just trying to think of something that was more like 1920s flapper coated. Like,
well, they used Moxie.
yeah.
You got Moxie, kid. You hear that, Finn? Or Vivian, you could play Moxie.
That you could. You just call it something like Life of the Party.
I don't know. I don't know if that one vibes. I think like yeah, like Moxie Bravery, like, because I think the Life of the Party vibe is a little bit more.
So it's more like confidence than.
Yeah, this seems like Vivian seems very impulsive, you know.
Yeah. Without just like rapport.
Yeah, rapport. Bright young thing. That's what That's what they call folks like her in the 20s. It's not bad.
I'm trying to think what else. Like, she's like kind of center of attention, but that's not quite the vibe we're going for.
Yeah, and I'm looking up slang for the 1920s too to see as well. Hey, new waivers available are in our fantasy league, everybody. If you're wondering what that notification was about. I'm not too opposed to this cat's meow for like something splendid or stylish.
Works for me. Actually, let me.
Copacetic. We got to bring that back. Copacetic is a great fucking slang.
I don't know what I heard it from, but it's just like a guy like very cagily saying like copacetic. Cat's Meow is also on Leather Jacket.
Oh, is it?
No, just in the flavor text. So that's.
Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect then. Perfect. I think this works good too with the art.
I'd say so.
All right. What does skidoo mean?
It means to take off.
Ah, makes sense. Okay. Here is our Vivian Crawford, which I should now just put on the back here. We need Cat's Meow. Activate an enemy by 2 or more. Engage that enemy. If it is non-elite, it does not ready during the next upkeep phase. Limit once per round. Elder Sign effect +2. You may move a non-elite enemy from your location to a connected location or vice versa. Her deck building is Rogue and then either Seeker or... sorry, that should be Survivor. This is why we always do the read at the end. Seeker or Survivor, level 0. So you can see either Seeker or Survivor for that part. And man, she's going to be very independent, which I think is going to be a very... That's the thing that I really enjoy about playing Lucius, is that he can kind of just do his own thing while getting clues, and she's going to be the same.
Yeah, that's kind of how I played him when me and Daniel did that scenario.
He can just, like, be himself. Cat's Meow is her signature. 1-cost asset. It's fast. After you use reaction to engage a non-weakness, non-elite enemy, you get +1 book until the end of the round. If that enemy was exhausted, you may shuffle that enemy into the encounter deck and Cat's Meow into your deck. And then we have Undulating Spawn. 3/3/2, Hunter Retaliate. Player cards cannot be attached to Undulating Spawn. And then Forced, when the enemy phase begins, you ready Undulating Spawn. She seems pretty legit.
Yeah, I think so. She's it'll be definitely interesting to make cards that give her own niche more reinforced.
Should this... No, weaknesses don't have that. It's only on signatures that have the Investigator deck only.
Which baffles me because they're not cards you can buy anyway.
Yep.
It's not like you can like slip them into a deck.
Yep. No, it's I hate it. I hate it. Anyways, yeah, but I agree. I think that it's going to be fun to design cards for her, and I think it's nice in comparison to Maxwell, because Maxwell, I would say, is probably our most complicated investigator to grok from our last box.
Yeah, he needs a lot of pieces to kind of make him run smoothly. Not work entirely, but like just before you feel comfortable, you need a lot.
Yeah, and she's just like a traditional roguey type thing, so I think it's just going to be very fun to design for.
Indeed.
All right. Well, 3 investigators in the box. We have our Seeker and our Mystic left to do, so you can look forward to that on the channel in the near future. But if you're watching live on Twitch, where I stream every Tuesday and Friday, it's going to be happening right now, so look forward to that. Otherwise, have a good one. And as always, a GG's.